Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you may be. BTC Simmer welcomes you to another flight up here in lonely Greenland. So we're up here in Kangerlussuaq, BGSF. We're heading over to Sisimiut, if that's how you say it. I hope that's how you say it. So that's BGSS. File the road on SimBrief. We're going to take off here, get a left turn, head to SF, which is the NDB just outside of Kangerlussuaq here. That'll put us on the W28 air route, low world air route, to HB, which is over a couple miles away from Sisimiut anyways. So that's our route today. We have mostly, well, pretty much all cargo, one passenger, I believe, going up to, let me check, I think they're going to Nook. Nope, they're going to Manasok, so they'll be carrying on, but we got one passenger and then a bunch of cargo, so. Alright. The cargo doors are open, stairs are down. Let's do our quick walk around. The fuel cap looks okay. Check our ports here. Pitot tube. Didn't do my research, didn't check if that's the ram air, I believe it is. Landing gear, strut, wheel, inflation. Secure that cargo door when we can. Check for visible damage on the nose. Check our ports. Second pitot tube. Door secure. And we'll come back here to the wing route. Check our leading edge. Strut. Check our gear winner here as well. Check the brake. There's no visible signs of any leakage or anything. Tires inflated properly. Landing strut's alright. Have a look at the engine. No visible signs of anything. Nothing shoved in the intake there. No birds nesting in there. Anything crazy. Or the exhaust. Check the prop. Make sure she's not chipped away or cracked or anything. And lights, leading edge, de-ice boots. Wingtip, same thing. Always looking for damage everywhere. Check our ailerons, trim tabs, flaps. All this wonderful stuff. And our door, make sure it's secure. Check our fin. Just check by looking at it. And we'll go ahead, look at the de-ice boots on the elevator. Upwards of the rudder itself. Excuse me, guys. Check the elevators, move them back and forth, touch, trim tab. Oh yeah, look at that. Paint's peeling away there. Alright, check our light there. The rudder. And same on this side, little paint peeling away, that's okay. On that corner there. Alright. Slinging point, oh yeah, okay. It's pretty self-explanatory. So secure the door when we can. And make sure the fuel cap's closed. Landing gear, check that out. And the trailing edge we'll check as well. Flaps, ailerons. Any signs of visible damage. Light. And the leading edge here. De-ice boots, everything. Light. Excuse me, guys. Engine as well. Exhaust. Prop. Intake. You want to get a good look at that prop, that's for sure. And the wing route all the way back to the fuselage. Yeah, so landing gear. Check the inflation, the brake, strut. good condition and ready to go. Alright, I'm satisfied. How about you guys? Okay. Beautiful plane at our beautiful hangar here in Air Greenland. So you guys remember what I was saying? We're gonna come down the coast, head over to the east coast, then off to Iceland. So we're gonna go BGSS, then BGMQ, then down to Nuuk, then down to Kangerlussuaq, over to Kolkus. I can't say the name on the east coast there. Check that out, see if there's anything going on there. If not, well, we might head up that coast. But it's not written in stone. I want to get to Iceland, check it out there. Already seen some airports on TO, so excited to give those a try. Alright, let's get going today. And I want to get back to air traffic. There's nothing here this time of day anyway. Okay, we'll close our cargo doors as well. Switches right here. And we'll get going. So I don't know if I'm gonna speed up this flight or not. I haven't decided if I just want to do one flight today or two. Kind of content on doing one, but we'll see what happens. See how this one goes and carry on. Hey, let's pull up our checklist here. Before starting, control lock. Remove that. Okay, free and a parking brake. That is set. Fuel switches are normal. Emergency fuel switches. Selector is normal. It just moves like that. Simple, simple. Boost pumps are off. Cabin lights and signs, we'll turn those on. And I always try to turn them on like this. Let me have my camera here. I want to turn off that zoom. Turn it to auto. Boom. Come up here. Fasten belt, no smoking. Okay. Generators are off, flaps are up. These planes are built back in the day, so they used to allow smoking on airplanes. So. Okay, flaps up, fuel levers are off. Double check, yeah, they're off. Props, put them full forward. I was watching a video of a guy using reverse thrust to taxi out of a tight spot. Gotta get that programmed. Okay, touch those up. Ignition normal. What are we doing here? Okay. DC source battery. There we go. Fuel quantity checked. We'll give that a check there. There's our fuel quantity. We're at 75%, 339 gallons. Okay, we'll start with our forward boost. Add on a sec and then come up here and go right. Watch our oil pressure. Had my avionics kill switch off. Okay, we're good to fire that one. Let's push in the fuel selector and engine comes to life. Okay, and you heard the tick, the auto center restart, or auto start recenter right there. So same on the left side, gauges look good on the right here. Left side we'll go aft pump, it'll come on, and we'll go left. And same idea over here, watch oil pressure, gauges start coming alive. There, we'll push that fuel selector in, and our engine spools to life. Okay, and you heard the starter center, alright. After start checklist, power levers idle, they're okay, generators on, lights out. Let's do our test here, we should have did before the engines. Well, that works, you can see those fire up. Lighting. Bus ties normal. Want that normal. Caution test. It's all these lights here. Sorry guys, I bet that was annoying. Okay, generators, turn those on. Lights should go out. And they did go out. Engine instruments, and they look okay to me. Compass and gyro is set, so we're direct south. Runway heading is 09 or 2. Sorry guys, I don't know what's going on with my voice. Ever since I lost it there, I've had trouble getting it back. Whatever, no big deal. Caution lights are appropriate. Yeah, they're okay. Okay, altimeters and clocks. So what's the pressure here at Kangerlussuaq? We got weather force installed, so we got real weather. 2980. There you go. Going all the way up to 10,000 today. You may ask, isn't that too high for oxygen? We got one passenger. They're sitting up front here. We got oxygen. We're okay. Don't like to scrape 9 with passengers usually. It's mountainous areas, you got to pump it up, don't you know? Okay, and turn on our anti-collision in position. I think that was the right one I just flicked. Nope, that wasn't. That's off. Position. That's on. Okay, yep. Okay, we'll put our route in the GPS. We'll bleed some air through. It's a little warm in here. Cool. Turn on the vacuum cleaner. It's not a vacuum cleaner. It's just the vent fan. Wow, what happened there? There you go. Flight plan. I tried again. I tried the other GPS again. I don't know what's the matter with that thing. It just blanks out when I try and put in a route. BGSF. Kangerlussuaq. Pretty simple route today. Nothing too crazy. That's the one. Then HB. HBK. You guys remember WWF from the 90s? WWE they call it nowadays. HBK. Shawn Michaels. I used to watch that stuff. B, okay. BG, yes, that's right. And then BGSS. S. Where are we here? Okay. Sisimiut. Sisimiut. Not the hardest one to say. Okay, there we are. Program there. Turn on our 122.8. Go ahead and program our localizer for here, 110.55. That shows up. Then moving along, our altitude set there. Turn on our transponder. Turn on our transponder. 2. And I'll come down here to our NDB. At my 300. And we're not going as high as 890. You're staying down here. Okay, so we got 382 for SF and 328 for Sisimiut HB. And HB is like I think it's a Danish name. I can't really say it. And that one's 328. Okay. .382, is that correct? Maybe it's just not getting it. Alright. Okay, coming up here, we'll just check our generators as well while we're over here, and we got a good load. 18 volt minimum, so we're fine that way. Check our battery. Just run a test. Hit to red, the light comes on. And turn on the data recorder. Here's our hydraulic pressure gauges for our brakes, flaps, nose wheel steering. That's that whining noise you hear when I hit the brakes. Okay, I believe we are set to taxi. Am I missing anything? Yes, I am. Always something you're missing, G. Okay, so 271. Let's get back to there. $271. 270 is west. 71. Should read it on there. Okay, so I think we're good to taxi. Brakes check, gyros and turn check, and taxi lights come on. Alright. I think we're going to taxi BGSF. You have SADC, pull that up. Should go down to Delta and take off from Delta, or take off from Charlie. I don't think we'll be able to take off from Bravo. Pointed at 9-2. Charlie's reasonable. Could do that. I mean, this is a massive runway. We're not going to go all the way back to 09. There's just... Yeah, we'll go Delta. Alright. Shut down the vacuum of the air there. We don't need it right now. Kangerlussuaq traffic, November 34 Kilo Hotel Type Twin Otter, taxiing from the Air Greenland hangar apron east down to taxiway Delta for takeoff runway 09. Kangerlussuaq. Okay, taxi lights come on. There's a Neo there. Put in some more power. Oh my, where does the time go? Arctic Command. So there's Charlie. I know Delta's the far one. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about all the throat clearing. Alright. Hey, that's where I parked yesterday. A little fast here. Okay, I believe this is Delta, because there's nothing else that way, so... Yeah, there's a marking there. Yeah, looks correct, so I'll stop here. We'll do our run-up checks here. Alright, so we'll go Run-up checks, parking brakes set, sure. I just don't want to set it with FSE, it's sensitive, sometimes it'll log the flight, so. Auto feather, anti-ice, pop up there and have a look. So we'll go auto, prop, intake, wing outer, left stabilizer, right stabilizer. Just leave it on left for now. Alright, autopilot checked. Appears okay. Okay, before takeoff, fuel quantity is checked. Boost pumps are on. Rudder trim tabs. We're gonna leave that. We'll switch this to takeoff. Flight instruments checked. Appear okay. Navcom radios, they are set. Propellers are full forward, auto feather is selected. Excuse me guys. Flaps for takeoff. We'll go 20. I never watched the hydraulic gauge. Oh, okay, there, that one's moving. The pump fills it up again. Comes down. Oh, okay, yeah, there. Set engine instruments. Okay, pitot heat. Fire that on. Anti-ice, we just went through that. Flight controls, free, full travel. I got my yoke turned off here. Okay, they seem alright. Rudders move. Transponder is on. Landing lights, we'll turn those on now. Caution lights are appropriate. Runway and heading is, I believe it's going to be okay. Climb checks, we'll go. Our gups check, and we'll just reference the speed here now. So, okay, let's see. Hey, why won't it let us go up there? Best angle. Flaps 089, 89, and best rates 103. We're gonna shoot for best angle. Mountainous area here. Not so much actually. Not like Kangerlussuaq. Alright, we'll call for takeoff and we'll be on our way. Kangerlussuaq traffic, November 34 Kilo Hotel, taking off runway 09 from taxiway Delta. Departure to the west. Kangerlussuaq. Okay, tap the brakes there. Had no brakes on there and the aircraft stayed. Usually starts rolling one way or the other. Flaps are 20, alright. Landing lights are on, pitot on. Should have tried taking off from Charlie there. I bet we would have been able to. STO capabilities. STOL. Should say. Okay, let's spool those engines up. Should be good, rateable there. Okay, we're gonna go sterile for a sec here, guys. Check, gas looks good. Carriage, tap the brakes, props, and come back into the green. Pitch that nose up, and gups, we can go switches, flaps can come up. shoot for best angle here. What was our plan? Sorry, it'd be a right turn we're gonna make here at 1,000. 1,000 feet, we'll make our right turn. Landing lights go off. Pido's on, and pumps are on and okay. So we're a little faster than we want to be. Pitch that nose up a little more. Okay, there we are there. Right about 89 indicated.
Terrain.
Pitch that nose up a bit more. Excuse me. And we get rid of the auto feather. It's the final part of our gups check. I want to shoot out towards SF there, so. Throw in a little bit more power. Okay. Looking good for best angle. See, I'll get so good at flying this plane and then all of a sudden I'll go to another one. And I'll have to start from the bottom again. That's okay. So we could add a lot more power and do a much steeper climb, but this is alright. Drifting a bit there. A little all over the place. And we're right over the NDB. See the card moving like crazy. Call it a card, I don't know. It's not a card. The old airplanes would have a fixed card for their ADF gauge. Hearing some cloud there. $297. Okay. There we are. 9,000. 1,000 to go. So 95. Still climbing along here. Right on course, but we'll veer if we don't adjust here. 97. And we'll put that nose down. Go. Sure what was going on there. Okay, 10,000. There we are. Okay, so we'll do a cruise power check. We'll come back on our props to 75. Like the hard gear in a bike, on a bicycle. See that gauge is second from the bottom of the main stack. 75 is just at the green tip there. Look for 42 on our power. Just off course a little here, so really high. Not sure how we gained 300 feet there. Watching my gauges and not watching my engine gauges, not the flight gauges. Okay, so this should correct us. A little fast here. I'll let her level off there. Whoa, 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 whoa. don't want to climb again. Watch the horizon. Watch the gauges. Something like that. There we go. Okay, we'll let the old autopilot take over now. Then you can hold out right there. Okay. That was a nice transition to autopilot. Oh, we got some weather, it looks like. It looks nice. Okay, so we're looking for 42 here with our gauges. Touch up over 40. There we go. We're about 20 minutes away. Yeah, just afternoon here in Greenland. I believe that's the right time. Local time. Alright. Okay guys, I'm going to step away for a minute. I will be back shortly. Welcome back, everybody. I am back, ready to start our descent down into Sisimiut. Okay, so we're gonna get down to... I don't know why I'm trying to do that on there. Down to about 4,000 here. Pull back our power. We'll quickly go through our descent checks. Okay, quantity and selector is okay. Caution lights are appropriate. They are fine besides our prop there. Anti-ice is still set. Cabin signs are still set. Landing lights, we can turn those on. Okay. We're on a bit of a steeper descent here, about 1,000 a minute. We'll pull up the weather for Sisimiut. Weather 2980. 2980. 2980, okay, so that doesn't change. I wonder if they report off of... Yeah, they do. They report off of Kangerlussuaq. It's runway 13, so we're going to fly down and... I don't know this airport. Never been here. I'm assuming it's similar to Manasauq. Same idea. We'll overrun it and come back and do like a I don't know, a left base or something. Something like that. It's runway 13. We're looking for 132. Take our course selector here. Just let me zoom in. 132. $21.30. 2 would be right about there. Heading selector. Somewhere there should be alright. Up to our VS here. That down a little more. Definitely notice a choppiness with the frames and the weather. Oh, there, and now it cleared, as you can see. And now the frames are just right on 60. Actually, really buttery smooth now. Alright, well. Guess we'll call them and let them know we're close. See if there's any Vatsimmers on. That's a negative. Sisimiut traffic, November 34 Kilo Hotel, type Twin Otter, is 17 miles east, inbound to land, runway 13. Make a circling approach to runway 13 visual. Sisimiut traffic. All right. $108.15. See what that does for $108.15. 16 miles, alright. BGSS. You see, okay. Look at the VAC chart here. So yeah, that mountain there is about 25. Highest peak 29. Yeah, 29 for that one. Sorry, 25 off to the left there. Or right, 25. Come to our heading. We'll move our heading over this way. I think what we'll do is we'll descend towards this mountain and we'll go along the fjord out to the ocean. Out that way, come back around and land on 13. Or do we continue here, come around, land on 13? We're at a 6 knot at 50 degrees, so it's more of a crosswind tailwind for 31. 13, we got more of a headwind situation. Or should we continue our descent down to 4,000? Clear this range. Maybe we'll do that. Clear this range and then come back around to the airport there. Just need our heading bug to stay on this heading. Last minute decision, we'll go this way. So we can lose more altitude here over the water. Make a nice pick there. Could almost join downwind. Circling sounds, I don't know. Okay, we're gonna lose some more altitude here. Down to about 2,000. Back on the throttle. There's our airport there. Fly over the settlement of Sisimiut. So we're at 3,000. We're gonna need 15. We'll join downwind. Sisimiut traffic, November 34 Kilo Hotel. Change of plans. We'll join downwind for runway 13. Right hand traffic for a visual of runway 13, Sisimiut. Okay. Off goes the autopilot. Continue our descent right to circuit height altitude, which will be about 1,000 feet. Do a quick gups check. Gas is looking good. Undercarriage, we'll tap the brakes. Props, we'll put them up a little bit here.
Terrain.
And we'll throw 10 degrees of flaps. We're within the speed. Switches, landing lights are on, pumps are on, pitot heat's on. Flaps are 10. .6. 900 feet, we're a little low. Go full props. Yeah, right-hand circuit looked better to me when we were coming on that that mountain range there. So it's my initial thinking. See how it pans out. There's our runway. Don't need to lose altitude right here. Sisimiut traffic, November 34 Kilo Hotels, mid downwind to land runway 13, right hand traffic, full stop, visual, Sisimiut. Okay, so the runway's off for 45, we're pitching up here too much. Props are full, throw in another flaps. Go ahead and make our base turn. It's going to be a tight turn. And right to final. Sisimiut traffic, November 34 Kilo Hotel, turning final, runway 13 to land, full stop, visual, right-hand traffic. There we are. And final degree of flaps. Props are full, cups check, gas is good, undercarriage, tap the brakes. Props are full, switches, lights are on, flaps are set. Pumps are on, and pitot heat's on. Let's line ourselves up a little better here. And we're just not lined up. It's okay, we can correct that here.
Minimums.
It's the thing with being at new airports, you're just not sure how it all comes together, right? They call it 1-4 here. Okay.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Hey, flaps can come up. Oh, that didn't work out too bad. We'll be doing one flight today, guys. Landing off, taxi lights on. That guy's parked in a great place, isn't he? Sisimiut traffic, November 34 Kilo Hotel is clear of the active. Taxiing to the ramp, Sisimiut. We'll just stop it here, get our FS passengers loaded properly. The parking brake on, and window should pop up there. There it is. Welcome to Sisimiut. I'll have to do some reading on this community here. Looks like our air marshals want us over that way. Very similar to Manasauq, or Asiat, that one as well. Okay, there he is. What's he saying? Turn left, left, left. Okay, good there. Okay. I think he's saying something else, but we'll stop here. Brakes can go on. Alright, what'd you guys think of the flight? Quick, tight base there. Check our after landing. Flaps come up, anti-ice cools off. Landing lights go off, transponder standby off, trim tab 0 degrees. Okay, kind of the same thing here. Props will feather those, nice and easy. There they are. Generators, turn those off. Fuel levers, turn those off. Right. Not sure how you do it, right or left first. I don't know. Would you let it all die down, then do the next one? Okay, and then our left one. Boost pumps can go off. All lights, turn those off. Engine shut down, DC source and master, control lock. Alright. Pop that in there. Sometimes I like to enjoy the flights without speeding up the sim, right? So always trying to get me to turn right there and open up those cargo doors. There we go. So they'll unload the plane. We'll stay here the night and fly the next one down to Manasauq, then Nook, Narsarsuaq, and over to the east coast. This is a new airport for me. I've never been here. Another TL Creations. Does a good job on these things. This is the free version. He has a paid version as well. Tempted, but I'm not going to be staying Greenland for too much longer, so don't know if I'll be picking up the paid one. Probably not. So yeah, seems like a beautiful day out here. Beautiful mountain ranges. Sit down and have lunch here. That'd make a decent picture, right? I'll put that one for the cover. Alright guys, thanks for flying with me again today. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe. Still looking for them 10 subscribers. Want to start giving out sats, lightning form of Bitcoin. So, alright. We'll have to go explore. That's another airport here by TL Creations. His Greenland package from flightsim.to. I'll make another nice pic here. There we go. Okay guys, you have yourselves a wonderful day and thanks for tuning in again. Appreciate it. Catch you in the next one.